I'm sure you're super excited and you're feeling the weekend already. Lots of music, lots of conversation. I mean, what is Saturday without having that relaxed moment? It's the Rise and Shine Saturday, and we are here. My name is Emmanuel. Francis is still here, looking forward to when you'll get married. Yes. Another Saturday gone, and you are not.
And I'm looking forward to when you learn how to speak our language. One.
And don't of it, making me. That's where I can stop. We've won. You won.
You wanted to give me a shit, so it's 1-1.
It's okay.
Well, it's Saturday. I would love to tone it down a little bit. I'll go all the way out to make sure we keep you informed, entertained, and of course, focusing on all of the things happening within the entertainment space. And today is Akwa Ibom Day special. I mean, we are in the month of our anniversary, yes? Yeah. Akwa Ibom is turning 37 this year. And there's a lot of things to celebrate about. And so this morning, two amazing personalities we're bringing to you for the second conversation. One has been here before. The second person is making her debut on Spectrum TV Rise and Shine Saturday. So we're going to start with her because it's a ladies first.
Francis, I've told you that we need shekere on this particular.
And don't worry, maybe you'll help us get the shekere.
So that when you want to welcome, first timers, we don't do the.
I think you help us get that. But join us and make welcome for the first time. She is the founder Nkori Production and the general manager Ibom LED. Now, if you've heard about Nkori Production or Ibom LED, definitely these are two things you don't want to miss out on the conversation. Join us and make welcome for the first time live on Spectrum Television. Ekaite Umo! Good morning, man. Welcome to Rise and Shine.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Good morning, bro.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so of course, you've already seen our second guest. His name is Ibom Akwa. He's the CEO of Green Star Media Studios. He's an amazing personality. He acts, he sings, he produces. I wonder if he dances as well. Join us and welcome, welcome. Good morning, welcome to Rise and Shine Saturday.
Good morning, Rise and Shine. Thank you very much for having us on the show.
Yes,
it's a pleasure.
And I know the viewer must have seen, the thriller that crosses when you're playing the strings. Yeah, so that's it. We had to bring him back this time around, but for a different kind of conversation. And I'd love to start with you, ma'am. This is a $1 billion question we love to ask our guests. How was your journey?
The journey, arduous task. It was really a journey. I wish that the road to where you are located is fixed. But I must commend this ambience. I mean, it's so serene, so scenic, so beautiful. But the journey to get here, it's
looks like an excursion trip.
Oh no, excursions should be fun. So we should have a smooth road. So speak to who you need to speak to get the road fixed. And honestly, this is not sounding like Akwa Ibom. I mean, I've been in Akwa Ibom for a year now, and I hardly bump into bad roads. So this is one of my bad spots for Akwa Ibom
shock for you.
Yes, it is, because I'm used to good roads in Akwa Ibom.
Well, this is the side of the other side that I used to. Now you have seen it.
So, and I don't want to experience it again, whatever that means.
Okay, let's get back straight to the conversation. You are having two amazing portfolio that focuses on two things that have been missing in Akwa Ibom State we're trying to pick. So we'll start with the first one, Nkori Production. And we understand you're doing musical work. So let's start from there. What inspired Nkori Production to come on board?
All right. I got the job last year to be the general manager of Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Center. And in the space, when I came in, I just asked a few people, where do I go to see stage plays, productions of that nature? And I was told that there was something happening in the university, but I wasn't around at that time, so I missed that. And when I came back, I asked, so when is the next one? And they said, no, it doesn't happen on a regular basis. And for me, I thought, why shouldn't it be on a regular basis? Akwa Ibom State, we're positioning as a tourism hub. So cultural tourism should be part of it. We should have stage productions on a regular basis. So when people come in, they do all kinds of, there are different kinds of tourism. So once they're done with one, they might decide, oh, let's go and watch a play or something. And that's also obtainable in other cities that we want to be like. And so I thought, why don't you just set up something? And that's how the idea came up. And it was actually, I was in class facilitating a session at Ibom led when I asked the participants, so who is in theatre here? And a few people came out, and Ibom was one of the people who came out. And from there we built something, and that's the birth of Nkori, or that gave birth to Nkori, and that's how Akamba the musical is coming on stream in a few short days.
That's an amazing story. Now, that means you're coming to Ibom led, gave birth to Nkori production.
Very clearly so. Because if I wasn't there, I wouldn't have noticed that gap. It's not as if I am from Akwa Ibom from my name, but whenever I came to Akwa Ibom, it was for one thing or the other, Christmas, family event, so I never really stayed. So I never really asked about theatre. It was when I got this job and came to stay for a couple of weeks at a stretch, I found out, okay, so after work, what else? And then obviously there are gardens, there are places where you could go and do a few more things, but I thought, why don't we expand it so that we have, what the quality of what the university produces, why don't we have it on a regular basis? It might be a strain on the university because they have their calendar, their schedules, and they have a particular season for that. But for someone who's on the outside, we may want to have something more regular. That's why I thought, let's do this.
Okay, so let's talk about the story behind Akamba, the musical. What's the story like? What narrative are you painting?
A fantastic narrative, but I don't want to say too much. Maybe one will say a little, and you will not say too much, so that you come and watch for yourself. But it's a mix of a bit of our history and where we're going, a mirror into where we are right now, and a bit of the story of our past, where we are and where we want to be. And I don't know if one wants to add one or two words that will not give up too much.
But before we get to, I would like to. We are looking at stage plays here, theatrical here,
Yes.
and in this era where people are, rather subscribing to YouTube, doing Netflixing, do we see that we have the ability to sustain stage plays? Do we see that we are going to get that numbers when it comes to that?
I believe so, because even your psychologists, therapists, and doctors are advising people to cut down screen time.
Okay.
So where else do you go? To watch a play. And there's something about the stage play. There's this bonding that happens there. You're connecting directly with the actors. They are on stage, you are there, and you can interact with them thereafter. And then there's the community, and then there's a creativity, because when it's on stage, you can't take your lines again. This is life. So they build up and also it's also an environment for you to relax and imagine things. It brings out the creativity in people. And like I said, the tech has taken a lot out, but if there's consistency in the outputs, I'm sure that people would say, well, let's go and see it. And before you know it, a lot more people are going there. So I'm very confident that the market for theatre is there. It's just that maybe it wasn't very consistent. But if we are consistently producing, there will be people. And the young people are also very curious to know what was it like before. Because these stage productions, they're not a new thing. This is our culture. Back home, we used to have a konke in the villages, and then we go to the village square and do plays and theatre. That was it. That's from the village. We're just bringing to. So our young people would also want to know the Renaissance, going back. A lot of our young people, you are being accused of not speaking our language.
Everyone, Francis, thanks to you.
Thanks to you.
Thanks to you. It's okay.
2-0 now. So, and those are things we are trying to incorporate. And if you notice, there are even a few more people writing books on our language and learning our language, all of that. So all of those things, we want to bring them back from the village and everything else.
Okay. So now back to, Akamba the musical. What's brought about? I know Akamba means big.
Okay.
And the musical, how did we get there?
Well, it's a combination of music, dance, and drama. And then we're telling the story of three young people and their transition from where they were to where they are currently. And then I want to keep the cat in the bag actually, but what you need to find out is that all the songs you used on this play, about 11 of them are all original songs designed for the production. Because to answer the other question you asked earlier on, yes, the digital market is very, very broad, but there's a way you can plug into that market and still tap from the revenue. Before we do what we're doing, of course, I'm a student of MAMA, and then we have what we call a business model canvas, where we have streamlined or identified our income streams. Now, because it's a theater play doesn't mean you cannot go on digital platforms. You can, like Hamilton, any other one that you already know, Ipitombi, they are there. They are gathering the views on YouTube, they're making their money. So, but you cannot just go to a digital space with nothing. You have to go with something. So, why the movies are popular is because movies are done on a regular and they are up there. So, if you have theater performances, like what we are shooting this cinema grade, it's deliberate the way we are producing, because we want to ensure that once we are done on the stage, we have something to post-produce and put out on the digital space too, to equally get revenue coming in. So there will be no conflict, because we've managed the resources, we have looked into the future, we have looked into the possible markets where we can explore and get what we're looking for.
I usually see this, this idea in Lagos, and I mean, I'm Lagos growth up, so
Okay.
you're going to see stage plays, you're going to National Theatre, and you're seeing stage.
Good.
Now, do Akwa Ibomites have that love for stage plays?
Okay, that's a very good question. Now, love starts from somewhere. People will gravitate towards what they see. Like when you mentioned Lagos, I was born there too, so we are talking about NCAC, National Theatre, Terra Culture, Bogobri, and all of those places. So it's because people dare to do those things, and then people already know that, okay, in this space we have this available. Like every other evening, people are in bars and lounges everywhere. They could only go to see a theatre if they see that. It's because they've not seen it, and then the costs of production. Then cost of production may be another reason why it's not very, very popular around here. But when the industry players begin to see their money, they begin to see, okay, if we do this once, twice, thrice, and they size the possibilities that are, available, we can now say, okay, like in 3 or 4 spots every other weekend, theater performances are going on. And then you know that after the performances, people are employed, people are paid. There's the other downstream in the distribution sector where you can say, okay, after this point, who are the other people who make money from theater performances, like they do in the Broadway. Of course, Broadway is very, very big abroad. And then even through the COVID era, they were still consistent because their market is there. So once you establish a system that people can identify with, the love will come, they will follow. Some years ago, I came back in 2015-16. Bars and lounges were not this popular in New York and hotels.
Definitely.
Are you okay? So, but because that is it's not available everywhere. Any small space now, you buy a lounge. Any small space, you buy a lounge. I mean, it's like that's the in thing. So once we have this, we have other participants, sponsors, partners who come in and say, okay, well, let's put this in and see how this goes. I think we're good to go. The best thing, the good thing about this is that we have a template we're working with. Because we are working from a knowledge-driven perspective. I mean, that would equally tell you why people were discouraged about theatre. Where you put in money, you see actors, all these who are aged and they are poor. It's because they didn't see the business side of their art. So, but we are from the knowledge-driven, exactly. So, if we don't get it at this point, there's a document we can go back and refer to, and it will guide us
on how to navigate.
Okay,
let me come back to you, man. One of the things that makes stage play what it is, I'm a theatre student, by the way, and I've written and directed a couple of stage plays for the university community. One of the things that makes it unique is the communication, your ability to relate with people live on stage. And like you said, it takes a whole lot for the actors to be able to have their lines of heart from the beginning of the play to the end of the play. So let's talk about the makeup of your cast. How are they drawn? What are we expecting from them?
Fantastic. The makeup of the artist is a young cast actually, and we deliberately decided to give everyone an opportunity. So we didn't, no preferences. People came for casting, and if you met the criteria, you were taken. Nobody cares who you are or where you're coming from, as long as you met the criteria. I mean, you know what casting is. So the people came and did, and those, it's not everyone who showed up who got in. I mean, it couldn't have been, because quite a number of people came in. But I must tell you that it's a vibrant cast and crew, and they're doing an amazing work. I have been at the rehearsals a couple of times, so I've seen what they're doing. And I'm very excited about what is coming. And honestly, I think that Uyo will feel the impact, Akwa Ibom will feel the impact of Nkori Theatre if we continue at the pace we are going. And also remember the Arise agenda. This is also good to plug in, because if we are doing it consistently, that affects the revenue for the people. So that means unemployment is not an issue for this cast. You would be surprised that our first production, which is not so large, we have about 50 people. Imagine taking out 50 people from unemployment, and then the ripple effect of this, because you know in Nigeria and Africa, we are not, if you get a pay, you don't, it's not only for you, it's for you, your siblings, your parents, or somebody. Yes, so the whole family. So imagine the ripple effect of 50, and this is just a not so big production per se. And when we continue and expand, and then we get sponsors, because this has to be supported for it to become big enough to be business. Because I'm sitting here as a business person. I'm not going to anything that I haven't looked at the business case for it, and if it doesn't look good, I won't go into it. And even before I started, even though it was emotional for me to have theatre, I also looked at the business case, and I also did a bit of research. Who's interested? Who are those interested in? And everybody I've spoken to was, if I see it, I'd be there. I used to be there. I used to go in Lagos, Abuja, and other places around the world. But when I came back to Akwa Ibom, I didn't have the opportunity. So the market is there. It's just to take that step and go ahead. And maybe I'm a bit of a risk taker.
You just want to give it a shot.
Yes, so let's see how it goes. But I also pray very hard as well. Even if I work hard, I pray hard. So I hope that it works out. But the cast, you'll be impressed when you see them. They've done a good job. And the technical crew, he's the producer of the play. And
Edima Mara.
Yes, Edima is the artistic director. They've done a fantastic job.
Okay, let's talk deeper into the crew. Now, Mom has given us an insight into the cast.
Okay, I'm sitting on the crew as a producer. Mom is executive producer. The Edima Mara is the creative director. I mean, Danceville is a place even the state government knows when it comes to producing dancers and dance plays. What took out a lot of actors on this set was dance. Some could sing and act, but they could not dance. And the dance routines were so hectic. And then Edima will not compromise on lines and movements. I mean, she's a dance person. So it was like I'm a music person first. So I had to start on the music. I'm like, no, that's off key. No, that's off the rhythm. No, when you deliver your lines, you have to go. There has to choreograph your lines. I mean, and they sat in.
Well,
the routine was hectic, sir. Like this week, it was calm from Monday till yesterday, and we're doing 2 routines every day.
Wow. So someone like me wouldn't have even gotten a role when it comes to dance.
That's 3-0
But let me ask, because we are heading towards the Yuletide season, and we know what Akwa Ibom is usually known for when it comes to December. There's the Christmas village, and then also where there's 31 days of 31 days now. 30 days. I mean, of celebration. Are we looking for something that will keep people coming back home? I mean, this is going to be my first Christmas in Akwa Ibom.
Wow.
Are we going to be looking at for having stage plays like that? Is there a plan like that? I don't know who's going to answer with that.
I mean, okay, so if you asked me based on my my emotions, I would say would have this plays every day or every week. But you know that it also has to make economic sense.
Yeah.
So what will come next will depend on how the first outing is, and the commitments that we get thereafter. But we have also thought about the possibility that we should do something during Christmas. also, just to add to that bouquet of all the activities during that period.
Right.
Okay, so just before we wrap up this conversation, when is this happening? Because I'm hearing all of the story, the cast, the crew, the rehearsals, and I am eager to come sit and watch. When is it happening? How can I be there?
Okay, you'll be there on Friday, 27th September. That's this Friday, coming Friday, 27th. Dwellers Landmark Event Center, Edward Housing. Show opens by 6 p.m. No African time, red carpet. 7 on the dot, you have the overture by 7:15. First performance by 7:30. The canvas starts, and it goes all the way to 8:15.
So that's a 2-hour non-stop stage work.
Exactly. From one artist to the other, from one act to the other, we run through. After that, we can now have
The meet and greet.
the meet and
And the
greet.
ticketed event.
Of course, 5,000 regular ticket, 10,000 for VIP seat, 200,000 for VIP table and corporate sponsors. 500,000 for a table of 10. So Spectrum can buy 2 tables and bring everybody.
We've already bought 2 tables.
Of course, thank you so much for having us. Honestly, on such a short notice, we're grateful.
Well, you know, Spectrum TV, we are big on promoting our own brands. We are big on letting the world know what is happening in the Akwa Cross region. And one of the things we want to say is to see our brands compete favorably with every other brands outside in the world. I mean, if you look at the likes of Vic Bowder and all the amazing artists that have come on to tell you, Planet Radio played a key role to where we are today. If they didn't promote us, probably people would never have heard about us and we never would have made it to this place. But just before we let you go, what is your parting shot, man? Because we're running out of time. And let me add, the next time we're going to bring you, we are going to talk about Ibom LED, because a lot has been said about Ibom LED, but we didn't have enough time to talk about that. So let's put an end to this conversation. Your parting shot.
So I will say, come and watch the production or the stage play on that day, 27th of September. Come by 6 p.m. We also want to build a theatre culture. In theatre, you don't go late. It's not allowed. Once the production, the artist on stage, is the sign of disrespect to work him. So the doors are closed when the artists are on stage, and then your phones are not even supposed to ring when the production is on. So we want to build that community. Honestly, I look forward to that huge community that is waiting to be built for theatre and all productions along those lines. And so I would invite everyone to come, and thank you, Spectrum TV, for hosting us. I know that this goes a long way in telling people about what we're doing, and maybe this will encourage us to do something in December as well. And so thank you very much, and continue to promote our own, because if you don't say you are, nobody will, and then you've done a fantastic job here. And so once again, we invite people to come, watch the show, participate, and when we call for the next set of cast, maybe you should.
I'll make myself available. I'll not dance. I'll sing.
We'll look for a role for you.
No problem.
So we invite everyone to attend. Yes.
All right, do go with parting shot, please.
No, we're hopeful that this will lead to more things to come. We quite look forward to plugging into a calendar beyond December, so that every quarter people look forward to come for something spectacular, and then they can plan their calendar, plan their funding, plan their finances, and then decide, okay, we'll go to Akwa Ibom at this time, because it's always expect to see. And this will probably help the creative and performing arts industry to be self-sufficient. They make money, they're able to take care of other things they need to take care of, facility, infrastructure, and all of the things they need to get their work done. So this is a very great move. Thank you, Akwa Ibom. Thank you, Spectrum TV. Please come out and watch us on Friday, 7 p.m. It's the show. 6 p.m. the doors are open. Tickets, 5,000, 10,000, 200,000. Call 070-6969-3542, and we can deliver to you anywhere.
Okay.
All right,
Can we get the ticket online?
Okay, that's a good question. And I'll talk to a lady, and by tomorrow that's available.
Okay.
All right, that's the much we can take on today's edition of Rise and Shine. Thank you so much for being here. We've been privileged to host Kaito Moore, the General Manager, Ibom LED, and of course she is the owner of Nkori Production. So today was all about Nkori Production, and the next conversation, the next time we'll have will be to talk about Ibom Lad. Of course, Ubom Oko is also an amazing, multi-talented celebrity artist joining us today. This is where we draw the curtain and we say thank you so much for being part of the conversation. To enjoy the rest of your weekend from Ime and all of us here is bye-bye.
Bye. Ibom,